Okay, so now we are going to start with our first looping animation. For this animation, we are going to use Illustrator and After Effects together. So now over here, I am in Adobe Illustrator and I have created this normal documents which is in RGB format and height width is 1920 by 180. Now I'm going to select my rectangle tool and I'm going to choose black color for the stroke. I'm not going to choose any fill, but for just for now I'm going to choose white color just for the reference. And now by holding shift I'm going to create one rectangle like this. Okay, now select this and by holding alt I'm going to create a duplicate and I'm going to properly adjust it over here. Select this by holding alt and hold shift so you can properly adjust. Select this layers, all these layers again by holding alt. I'm going to duplicate and by holding shift I'm going to drag so it will be properly aligned. Select this too by holding alt. Let's simply drag it and hold shift and adjust it properly. Hit Ctrl A and let's bring this properly over here and let's lock this layer and create a new layer. Now press P for pen tool and over here I'm going to delete this fill and I'm going to choose black color for the stroke and let's choose stroke width up to 5 pixels. Then we are going to create one point over here and by holding shift I'm going to create another point over here, then one point over here. Basically we are going to trace it like this and make sure to hold shift whenever you are going to do that so it will be proper straight. Okay, so these lines are done. Now we will hide this layer. Now let's select all of this hit by hitting Ctrl A and then hit A simply so you can get these anchor points, and we are going to increase the size of it like this. Okay, so you'll get these curves. Now save this file in Illustrator. Now let's go to the After Effects. Let's create a new composition. We are going to call it as main animation like this. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30 and duration is 30 seconds, and simply hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on title section. Then press Ctrl I to simply import this Illustrator file. Go to the footage, composition, return layers and sizes and simply hit import and simply bring this over here and go inside this composition. Hit Ctrl K to open the project settings and we are going to change the color of this one to white. Then after that select this ellipse and by holding shift I'm going to create one ellipse like this and let's delete the stroke and change the color of this one to red one like this. Select this, press Ctrl Alt O. Now select this extra layer, delete this. Now we will select the stroke layer, right click and create shape from vector layers. Go inside this layer, contents, group 1, path 1, and over here we are having this keyframe on path, so simply select that. Select this path keyframe and hit Ctrl C to copy. Select the shape layer, press P for position, select this position and hit Ctrl V, and by holding alt I'm going to increase the duration of this animation up to 6 seconds, and if we hit play, as you guys can see, we are getting this kind of animation. Now what we are going to do, we will simply right click and new and create one null object. Select the shape layer and make it apparent with this null. Select this null and simply move this somewhere around over here. Select the shape layer, press T for opacity and let's decrease the opacity. Zoom in a little bit and let's move this over here. Select this null object and we will make sure that this should properly at the center. So if you see this now, as you guys can see, this is animating like this. So after we will get something like this, make sure over here zoom in a little bit and you can simply select this object and you can see the curves are properly on this one. So after that I'm going to delete this null object over here. Okay, like this. Now I'm going to select the shape layer. Let's hit U, select those keyframes and let's increase the duration up to 10 frames over here like this. Okay, so animation is properly from here like this. Zoom in a little bit somewhere around here, hit page down button, and as you guys can see from this point, let's zoom out a little bit. From over here to over here I want animation, so I'll hit B over here and then I'll make this animation run. Then this animation should should stop somewhere around over here. So hit page down button over here, zoom in a little bit, and I'll hit end. Okay, like this. Let's make this fit. Now let's select the shape layer, press T for opacity, and increase the opacity. So as you guys can see, why I started this animation over here and ended, because initially it should be over here, then as that it goes further, it should end also over here, so we can make it properly looping. How we are going to do that, let's see.